Hello, welcome back for another video. I am going to be showing you today what I cook for the weekend for my family as an Aussie mum on a budget. Now, my poor daughter, she has been sick yet again from daycare. So she was quite unwell yesterday. Today she is spending the day with Dad. She's feeling a little bit better, which is nice. So I'm just going to prep what I'm thinking of cooking this weekend. So I started, because I'm like, oh, I've got a bit of time, let's just do it. So I started to get some things out. And then I'm like, oh, hang on, let me get my camera and film. I've also got a load of washing on, so I've just closed the laundry door so you can't hear that. Anyways, for my, what month are we in? July. For my July monthly grocery haul, which no, I didn't film. Life has been crazy, but nevertheless, we did the groceries for the month. And I got all the meat in the freezer. So I've just got out the smoked ham hocks, I believe it is, for pea and ham soup. Where's the label? So I got 2.1 kilos in one packet, and this one's 800 grams. So what, 3 kilos of ham hocks for smoked ham hocks for pea and ham soup. My thought is I'll get this defrosting today. I'm proud of us. Doesn't happen very often. I'll get this defrosting today to go in the slow cooker tomorrow. So 3 big ham hocks. What I'm thinking is I'll get, I got out a bin bag. So I'm just gonna put a bin bag over like this. Just so it's airtight for the fridge while it defrosts. I'm just going to leave it out. It's a cooler day today, so I'm not worried about leaving this out at all. But I am just going to leave it out for a few hours just to start defrosting because our fridge is quite cool. And then it can defrost until tomorrow morning in the fridge as well. So we've started meal prepping for tomorrow. Today, I just got out of the freezer as well. A whole chicken. I bought this one back in June, the 10th of June. It was best before, but obviously the start of June I chucked it in the freezer. We didn't obviously use it, so we've got it for this month. I'm going to be doing chicken noodle soup with it tonight, and then with the leftover chicken, because I use the whole chicken in the chicken noodle soup, it makes a lovely broth as well. I am going to be doing some little chicken pot pies. I'm going to prep some chicken pot pies for the freezer for lunch tomorrow as well. But I just thought it's something that my daughter would really like, and it can be a good like daycare lunch option. So I'll do some little ones in little muffin tins and then pop them in the freezer. She absolutely loved the quiches that I made a few months ago. She ate the last one yesterday. It was just good to have, 1 or 2 meals a week, a lunch or a dinner as an option. She couldn't take them to daycare because there was egg in it, and the daycare's egg and nut free. But I'm thinking with these chicken pot pies, she'll be able to have them at daycare for a lunch option, once every few weeks, just to make my life a little bit easier as well. So that's the plan. I'm going to let this defrost. It's 9:30, probably 10 o'clock now actually. I'm going to let it'll probably take 2 or 3 hours to defrost. I've just got it in cold water, defrosting, and then I'll get this chicken noodle soup on hopefully at about 2 o'clock. All right, what I'm also going to get going is I'm going to cut up and roast a whole pumpkin and make some cookies. I feel like I've talked about 10 times on this channel but not got around to doing it. So today's my day. We've still got 3 or 4 pumpkins from our pumpkin vine.
Future Maddi here. I decided I'd do a voiceover here because I had the RoboVac going, hence the floor mat on the table over there that you can see. Don't worry, I was about to clean the whole kitchen anyways. But I had the RoboVac going, which was quite loud. So to save you having to hear that in the background, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So I just cut into my pumpkin there. It is so vibrant. It is smells so good. I was really looking forward to cooking this up. So I ended up just cooking up half of the pumpkin, roasting it in the oven. We use the other half later on this week. Now, I decided, so first of all, I thought that this video was going to be just what I cook over the weekend. Then it turned into what I cooked on the days that I don't work. So I'm showing you Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. I work Wednesday through to Friday. So I thought it could be cool to show you guys just my working day, the days that I'm not working, because I've got a little bit more time to prep dinner. And then the next video, if you guys are interested, I thought I'd film 3 days, what I cook when I am working, because it is quite a quick throw together meal. And we've been doing, full disclosure, once every fortnight. If we're going to do a takeout night, it's Friday night. It's just, we're all exhausted, including my daughter Lola, after a big week. And it's just nice to treat ourselves with a takeout on a Friday every now and then. All right. Yep, that is pretty good. So I'm going to let this cool. It's 12 o'clock now. It's been in for about an hour and a half. My oven always takes longer than expected. My chicken's pretty well almost defrosted, so I'm going to get that in the fridge soon. And then at 1 o'clock, I will start cooking these biscuits. All right, we are back to make these cookies first up. I'm hoping this is just going to be super simple. So I just need my pumpkin, peanut butter, oats, maple syrup, vanilla extract, and chocolate chips. If you're wondering, this is the box that I keep in the pantry with all of my open shelf-stable stuff, obviously. I'm just hoping, I'm sure this will still be delicious without vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of it. So let's just see if I can find it. Okay, I've got a funny feeling we don't actually have any. I've got a vague memory of my partner making pancakes a little while ago and asking if we had some, and I don't think we found any then as well. So I'll be putting that on my list of things to stock up on. So let's make our oats into our oat flour. So I need 3/4 of a cup of oat flour. So let's do a cup of oats. That made one just under a cup. So I'll keep that to the side if we need a little bit more. 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempted to do a double batch, but I'm holding off because I do want to see how they turn out. I've got 1/2 cup of pumpkin here. I'm just going to mash it up. I am going to use maple syrup because I feel like it's going to have a really nice flavour with this peanut butter. So 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. No vanilla extract. 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. Okay, and 1/2 cup of peanut butter. All right. So I don't have baking paper. So I'm just going to use aluminium foil. I
I know it is not ideal, but it is what it is today and it will be okay. So we want to now just put these into little cookies, so spoonfuls worth. All right, into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, that did not take long at all, which is lovely. Let's get up our next recipe. I'll be linking all of these recipes down below. So I am going to be doing chicken noodle soup from the one and only Recipe Tin Eats Nagy. So chicken noodle soup, a great cheap way to use a whole chicken and make like 4 dinners out of it, because with the leftover chicken, it makes a huge chicken noodle soup broth, and then the leftover chicken from the whole chicken and the leftover veggies too from the broth I use for a chicken pot pie, which I'm going to be making tomorrow. So I'll be showing you that as well if you're interested. Have made it before on this channel, but this channel's not a cooking channel. It's just, you know, me in the kitchen showing you what I do, and I cook the same thing over and over every now and then. Things that we love, obviously. So this is one of them. All right, so it's been 15 minutes. I checked it at 12 and it looked like it needed a little bit more time. Okay, great. Definitely ready. These look really yummy. I decided I only had 1 carrot left. I was about to start doing the chicken noodle soup and realized I only had 1 carrot left. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to the shop now, get some more carrots. I gave that one to Jimmy. Get some more carrots, get some celery, come back and just have everything that I need. And I needed to go to the shops anyway, so I'm going to do that before I start. But these are really good. I'm sure when they cool, they'll harden up a bit, so we'll see how they go. All right, so return from the shops. I've got my carrot, I've got my celery. Let's get cutting. So I want to cut up everything. So I'm going to do what I need for the broth and the soup. Mind you, when I take the veggies out of the broth, I will be keeping them for the pot pie tomorrow. Nothing's going to waste the way that I like to do this. Okay, I've only got 2 onions, but that's okay because I'm going to use some leek that I've got for the soup after, instead of the 1 onion, because it's quite obviously oniony, the leek. All right, I'm going to put everything in there that I need now, and then in this little bowl for later. So I need 2 good sized carrots now. I'm just going to use this 1 big carrot. Yes, these are carrots from Woolies, not ideal, but I did buy the odd bunch, the crazy carrots. So half the price for just a different sized carrot. I really don't get it. I do not get why this is even a thing that we need to have perfectly good looking vegetables. All I care about is the freshness. And even then, you know, I don't need an overly fresh carrot that I'm going to be using this week. Anyways, all right. We're just cutting these carrots, or this carrot, into chunks. Nothing gets browned off, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, we just put everything in the pot. So simple. It's 3 o'clock now, which is good timing. I'd like to have dinner ready by 6, so I'll get there quickly. Bought half a celery because I'm not going to use it, a full celery. Okay. too particular about this. But I'm also going to be mindful that I'm going to be using this for the pot pie tomorrow night, so I don't want it to be cut, the celery to be cut too big. Yeah, I've just cut this the wrong way. That's all right. I'm just thinking, I am actually going to roughly peel this garlic so I don't have to worry about straining any of the skin out, even though it's going to be so tender by the time we get around to it. Yep, that can just go in. The garlic skin will probably float up to the top as it cooks anyway, and I can take it out. Okay, and 2 onions. My video just cut out, but I luckily caught it before I got too far in. All I did was cut up that second onion, put a good sprinkle of peppercorns, a good 3 or 4 bay leaves, and a good sprinkle of dried thyme. I then chopped up more finely 2 carrots, a little bit of celery, and I'm going to chop up half of this huge leek. I'm very new to using leek, so don't laugh at me if this isn't the way that you should do it, but I'll keep that one in that half in the fridge. Okay, how should I slice it? Again, I'm so new to this. We'll do it in half. I cooked with it for the first time probably 2 weeks ago. Delicious. I am a huge fan of leek. Okay, so that can just go in there. And I think it's going to be perfect for this chicken noodle soup. And we'll see. I'm not sure if you use like the end bits of the leek, so I'm going to leave that and Google that. Go in there. Okay, I also need 3 garlic cloves, 2. 3. Fun fact about me, I never mince my garlic. I always just roughly slice it up. Okay. So that is just going to wait here on this table and like it. I'm going to do a super quick clean up. So what I need to do here is just place the chicken in. I always do the sniff test, even though I know I put this in the freezer fresh. I Just feel like you can never fully trust chicken without giving it a smell. Okay. So I'm just going to put that whole chicken in there. Give my hands a good wash now. I'm just going to fill this up with water until it's just above the chicken. All right. Pot is filled up. You obviously need quite a big pot for this. I'm going to pop it on high until it comes up to a simmer and put a lid on to help as well. I feel like I have to come on here to say the rest of this pumpkin is going to be made into another triple batch of these because these are so delicious. We've got quite a bit of that peanut butter left in the cupboard, and that peanut butter's got a funny taste about it. It's not like off or anything. It's only a few months old, but since we got it, we haven't been eating it just by itself, like, you know, on toast or whatever, because of the slight flavour of the peanuts. Obviously can't tell in these, so perfect way to use up that peanut butter. And I've already roasted the pumpkin, so tomorrow I'm going to put it on my to-do list to just whip up another 2 or 3 batches of these cookies, because myself and my partner will probably enjoy these as well, and then we can get a batch in the freezer or 2 for snacks down the line. But these are definitely staying on the kitchen counter for now. All right, I've got my pot of chicken in. All right, so I've filled up my pot with chicken. All right, so I filled up my pot with water just above the level of the chicken. I'm going to put the lid on, and my stovetop's on high just to bring this up to a simmer as quickly as possible. And then once we get up to a simmer, we want to reduce the heat and let it simmer away for about 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. I have to also say, these cookies that we just made together, so simple, they are delicious. The chocolate chips definitely helps, but absolutely delicious. I'm going to put on my to-do list for tomorrow. So I just have to take a minute to say it again. These cookies that we just made are absolutely delicious. I'm going to whip up another 2 or 3 batches of them tomorrow using the rest of this pumpkin, the rest of the peanut butter that we've got. We probably can only do 2 more batches with the peanut butter that we've got. And I am going to get a good batch and a bit in the freezer. These are going to be eaten over the weekend probably. Maybe not over the weekend, over this week, between myself, my partner, and our little toddler. And there will be a batch in the freezer for our toddler. And then I'm going to make another batch just because they are so good. Sure, there's some chocolate chips in it. Sure, there's a little bit of maple syrup. But the fact that these are mostly peanut butter and pumpkin makes me really happy. I think we're on to a winner. Highly recommend. I'll link the recipe down below that I followed. Oh, and if you don't have vanilla essence like me, doesn't need it. They're so yummy without it.
So I can definitely confirm that those cookies we had made were enjoyed on this day and the next day, but unfortunately I must not have put the lid of that Pyrex glass container that they were in on properly, and I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday. I woke up to a whole heap of ants that had gone inside of the container and enjoyed the cookies. So luckily we had already made another batch, which you'll see in a minute, but unfortunately we lost probably, I want to say 8 or 10 of those cookies, but you know, we've got plenty still left over. They are delicious. They're in the freezer as we speak, and they get pulled out, once or twice a week as a snack idea for our daughter. So I had back to this chicken noodle soup, I had let the chicken simmer in the broth for an hour and a half once it had got to the boil, and then we'll gently simmer. It definitely doesn't need to be bubbling away, just a gentle simmer. And then I removed the chicken, shredded as much chicken as I could from the bones, and here I am just draining the chicken broth, so I'm separating the veggies from the broth. I'm using 2 saucepans here to catch the chicken broth in the meantime. I need to get myself some more big containers. I've got 2 big Pyrex containers, but they're used up quite often with leftovers. Anyways, I make it work here. I think I get one of my middle-sized Pyrex dishes out, and it's clean. I just always give my dishes a little bit of a rinse out of the dishwasher when I can. These are all of the veggies from the chicken broth. Now, none of this goes to waste. I do pick out the peppercorns from the veggies just so we don't have whole peppercorns in our chicken pot pies that we're going to make with the leftovers. I also give the pot just a bit of a wipe out before using it again to brown off the second batch of veggies that are going to go in this chicken noodle soup. Like usual, I'm talking softly because my daughter's asleep. If you can hear a little melody going in the background, that's just her little sleep song that goes on for an hour and then it turns off. So I'm a little rundown. I'm by myself today. My partner is away. So I'm going to take this opportunity to make the chicken pot pies. I've got the leftover chicken, the leftover veggies from the stock, and then obviously the leftover stock as well. I've also got some bacon that I need to start using up, and I thought chicken and bacon pie, hell yeah.
So I'm going to make these pies now, hopefully get them done before my daughter wakes up. We've already had lunch, it's almost 1 o'clock. Now I'm going to link the recipe, like the base recipe, down below, but you'll see that I do things a little bit different. I don't like re-cook fresh veggies. I just use the veggies from the stock because it's perfect, they're nice and soft. I just like chop them up so they're a little bit smaller. So let's get started. I'll probably take you over to my saucepan, but first of all, I'll cut up a little bit of bacon. Alright, I'm going to cut all the rind off this bacon. You guys might see some boxes over here. I'm about to show you guys something very exciting. I'll make sure I show you in this video when I have a little minute to explain and unpack it all. Alright, I'm going to start lining my pie dishes. I've just got 4 ramekins and then some little cupcake size for my daughter. I'm just using puff pastry and I'm not pre-baking it. I've done it both ways by doing a pre-bake with weights and then not bothering, and to me it doesn't make any difference. We usually reheat leftovers in the air fryer anyway, so it crisps up the pastry nicely in the air fryer. And touch wood, I've never had problems with them sticking to the tins and the ramekins just by oiling them up a little bit before. So my puff pastry is defrosted. I'm just thinking it's almost starting to dry out a little bit now though, which isn't the best, but it is what it is. Okay. Now, what I really like about the way that I do these pot pies is I've already got the veggies cooked, like I said, I've already got the chicken ready from last night. So I'm able to skip a lot of steps, and literally I'm just going to warm the chicken and the veggies up with some milk and some cheese, and then that will be the filling of the pies. And any of you out there that have like picky yourself, or family members that don't like to eat leftovers for dinner like 2 nights in a row, this is such a good way of using leftovers from the chicken noodle soup, and it tastes completely different. It's a completely different dish. So just a little FYI, if that would be handy at all for any of you. Okay. This looks super rustic, but what I'm going to do is put the filling in and then kind of just turn over the tops a little bit if they don't dry out too much. So that's that one done. veggies out and pick out all the little peppercorns. Said it, but I am going to change this video. It's not going to be just what I cook over the weekend. I'm going to show you what I cook over the days that I don't work, so Sunday through to Tuesday, because they obviously look a lot different to the days that I do work. And then I'll do my next video. I'll show you what dinners look like on working days for me, which I've mentioned before in my last video. My partner's work hours have now changed to quite long days, back to long days. So, you know, I'm tackling dinner myself, which obviously just changes up, you know, the capacity that I have as well. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights are super simple dinners, and like, I mean, super simple. And that is okay, because that's the phase of life that we're in at the moment. And dinner gets served. And you know what? Sometimes dinner doesn't get served and we get takeout. And, you know, we're lucky that we live close to a lot of takeout options. So we can choose, you know, a relatively healthier or just an option for Lola. We do have a lot of like meals like this though in the freezer that I've made for dinner options too, if we need something quick. I'm going to put in my veggies now. Now the recipe does call for white wine. I'm just subbing in extra chicken broth from last night because we don't have white wine and my daughter's going to be eating this. Okay, so I need 1/3 of a cup of flour. So I'm going to add in my 2 cups of milk. I always just start though with 1.5 cups and just add a little bit more in if we feel we need it. I've also got my 1 cup of chicken broth from last night. The rest of that chicken broth I'm going to put into little Ziploc bags and freeze it, probably 1 to 2 cups per little Ziploc bag. So I've got chicken broth in the freezer and a good sprinkle of thyme. While that simmers away, I'm going to start bagging up this chicken broth. I'm going to do it in like 2 cup worths, approximately 2 cups in each little Ziploc bag. If you've been a viewer of my channel, you would know that in the beginning, when I started this channel in around October last year, I used breast milk bags to bag up the stock that I had, and that worked perfectly. I am not breastfeeding anymore, so I don't have any spare breast milk bags laying around, but little tip, if you can get some breast milk bags, if you've got breast milk bags, they're perfect for a cup and a half of stock. And they're made to be, put in the freezer. Thickening up nicely. So I'm going to give it another 5-10 minutes. What could I do in the meantime? I'm going to put this pumpkin back in the fridge. I blitzed up the oats, anticipating I'd do it now while I was asleep, but I'm just going to do it tonight once I put her to sleep. But I'm just going to focus on the pot pies for now.
It is Monday morning and I am getting the slow cooker ready and getting some pea and ham soup on. In hindsight, I probably should have cooked this on a work day because it's a great recipe you can have on low all day. But I've decided to do this on Monday. I had a busy day on Monday, so it was good to have dinner ready. So I just lined my slow cooker with some olive oil. I put in 500 grams of split green peas, which I happen to have in the cupboard that was waiting for my next batch of pea and ham soup. They'd been sitting in there for quite a while, so it was good to use them up. My ham hocks, I'm proud of myself. My ham hocks were defrosted, ready in the fridge. I've had these defrosting since Saturday morning, as you saw, and they fit perfectly in the slow cooker, which was really satisfying. I was worried there for a second that they weren't going to fit, which would have been really sad because I probably would not have got the lid on, but it was perfect in the end. Lots of ham for this pea and ham soup. What I love about this recipe too is nothing has to be brown first. So what I did was cut up my 2 garlic cloves, my carrot, 2 celery sticks, and then I also used half of a leek instead of an onion because I was out of onions. So this worked out perfect because I used up all of the celery and the leek that I had bought on Saturday for the chicken noodle soup and then my chicken pot pies. So if you want a really good budget few days, well, half a week up to a week with leftovers of dinners, follow these 4 days that I've done because they are really economical and yummy and perfect for winter. Anyways, I put in a little bit of salt, pepper, and then 8 cups of water. And that is it. It's as easy as that. And I let this sit, like I said, on low for 10 hours. I believe it's 8 hours on high if you are a bit short on time. But here I am just showing you halfway through in the early afternoon. I also got around to cooking those 2 more batches of the pumpkin and peanut butter cookies. So again, proud of myself for getting that done. All you then have to do is take the ham off the bone, which my partner was doing there, and then you blitz up the rest of the soup in a blitzer. I really need to get myself a stick blitzer, to make this a lot easier, but my trusty food processor did the job on this night, and then you just put the ham back into your soup and dinner's done. Really enjoyed it, and I really appreciated having this soup for lunch for the rest of the week as well. It's Tuesday morning. I'm continuing with the pumpkin theme, and I thought I would whip up a batch of these pumpkin and banana muffins for my daughter. She loved them, and I love that we've got another snack option in the freezer for my daughter for daycare.
Okay, it is Tuesday afternoon. It's 1:45. I'm hoping to get dinner on by 1. Tonight I'm cooking beef short ribs, barbecue beef short ribs in the slow cooker. I have done this recipe before, and I spotted when I was at the shops doing my mid-month top-up shop, I spotted some beef ribs on sale. So they weren't in my plan for the month, but I have decided I couldn't pass them up, so we're going to have them for dinner tonight. I'm changing the recipe a little bit to do it in the slow cooker, which it says you can do for 5 hours, and then the last 30 minutes you put it in the oven just to caramelize, I suppose. I, from memory, have done this before, and I believe I did film it for you guys. It was one of the weeks that I filmed. Anyways, it's the last day of the week before I go back to work. So I work 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this afternoon I am trying to get to the gym. So my plan is to have this on by 1 or 1:30, and then we'll be having dinner by 6:30 tonight. And I'm gonna have it with some Brussels sprouts. And we've also got some Turkish bread to use up. So I'm gonna somehow make that work. Before I start cooking dinner, I want to show you something really exciting. Alright, so I alluded to this a bit earlier in the video, but I am so excited to share this. I've been raving about Koala Eco for a little while now, and I went ahead because I ran out of the dish soap that I have been loving. I went ahead and ordered myself another big order of Koala Eco. I was also running low on the multi-purpose kitchen spray that I also absolutely love. So let's open this together. This is my new order to restock, and I got some new things to try as well. Okay, my address is on this. I'll blur it out if you can see it. So for my order, I got 2 new refills of the dish soap. These are 1 litre, so this lasts me quite some time. This lasts me well over a month. Full disclosure, I have just been buying these in the refill size, keeping them next to my sink and using it just out of the little pop top, because it is a cheaper way of buying it than buying the small squeeze bottles. Anyway, that's worked for me. I'm going to show you though something that I just absolutely am so excited about. Anyways, I got 2 new dish soaps and this refill for the kitchen cleaner. I got 2 bottles of this. Again, I've just been refilling a spray bottle that I already have over and over again. You can get different types of the concentrate. So they were out of this one that I usually get. I've just run out of it. I refilled my spray bottle the other day and I just kept this to show you. So this is the concentrated refill. So it just comes in a smaller bottle. I don't know what ends up being cheaper, but they were out of this. So I ended up just getting the already pre-mixed refill. So I don't have to put 1 part of this and 2 parts of water, I think it is. It's already pre-filled. So same really. But I've gone through a whole one of this. I stretched it out to 4 refills. So it's lasted me 2 months. And I love the smell of it. Absolutely love the smell of it. And I love that with this, unlike the eucalyptus one that I've been using for years prior, for those of you with small kids and babies, I found out that eucalyptus oil is actually quite toxic, even in small amounts. So even though it's, a natural cleaning option for the house, you've got to be careful with babies. And I'm sure, that it's probably okay, but I like to err on the side of caution. So this one is Australian lemon myrtle and mandarin essential oil. I love the smell of it. I just spray it straight onto a wipe or a piece of paper towel, and I wipe down my daughter's high chair with it all the time in all of her room. I just love the smell of this. So I've already gone through one, got 2 new refills. Now, I ended up also, I really want to try this hand sanitizer. Tea tree and tea tree essential oil. That smells so good. It smells so much better than the one that we have been using in my daughter's room next to the change table. So I'm really excited for this. And then the free little gift that I got with my order was the hand and body lotion, which I'm so excited to try. And it just smells divine. I absolutely love this brand. So I went on, I paid for this order, and I thought, why not reach out to them? I really love them, and I've been sharing them with you guys. So I reached out, and I was so taken back by their response. I wasn't expecting anything. I'm a smaller YouTube channel, but they messaged me almost straight away, and they told me how much they appreciated that I was sharing the word about their products. And they're like, I'm going to send you a little gift. This is not sponsored, there's no obligation, hence why I'm showing you this at the end of the video. But I was really taken aback, and I did have a look into it, and they sent me some information on an affiliate link. So if you are interested in making an order, I do have a link down below. It just lets Koala Eco know that you come from me, and I get a small contribution as well, being an affiliate. So if you are wanting to buy Koala Eco, and you're also wanting to support this channel, check out the link down below. They sent me the glass cleaner. I used this just before in my daughter's room on her mirror. Like her wardrobe has a big mirror, and it had her little fingerprints all over it. And it's got the most beautiful peppermint smell. So I'm going to be buying this over and over again, that's for sure. I'm already I've pledged my lifetime alliance to this dish soap. I love it so much. It suds up really nicely. It has a beautiful smell to it. It cleans really well. I also use it in the shower to clean our shower. They've probably got a bathroom cleaner. Did they send me one? No. This is going to sound so silly, but I love that I now have the spray bottle for my kitchen cleaner. That's a Koala Eco spray bottle. They are really beautiful. Like I said, I've just been refilling the bottles that I've got to save a bit of money. So they sent me a little kitchen cleaner, a floor cleaner. It's not full because I used this the other day. It smells so good. It's got this beautiful peppermint smell, and it's also got a mandarin essential oil in it. And it did a really good job of cleaning the floor. So this might be something else that I buy on a regular basis. And then they also sent me the fruit and veg wash, which I've already been using. Thank you so much to a subscriber or a viewer of my channel who first reminded me of this brand in terms of the fruit and veg wash. And as you can see, I haven't looked back. So thank you so much, Koala Eco. They also sent me a pump, a little normal size pump of the dish soap. Again, so excited to have their little pump bottle on my kitchen counter to use. So if you're interested in buying Koala Eco, I highly recommend their dish soap. I love their kitchen cleaner, the multi-purpose cleaner. I've tried out the floor cleaner the last time I cleaned the floors a few days ago. Absolutely love it. I love their fruit and veg wash, can confirm that it's beautiful. I don't have the money yet to buy organic, but I love that I can at least give my fruit and veg a good wash. I'm yet to try the hand and body lotion. I'm sure it will be great, and I have really high hopes for this hand sanitizer. I don't think I'm going to look back with other brands. Anyways, when I get passionate about something, specifically, you know, an Australian brand that is non-toxic, which is a huge tick for me, smells beautiful, it's a no-brainer. I don't mind spending a little bit more money. That's my little show and tell of Koala Eco. I am going to start getting dinner ready now.
I'm kicking myself here a little bit because I had woken my daughter up talking about Koala Eco. I must have talked a bit too loud. She did manage to have a bit of a nap, but definitely not as long as she usually does in the middle of the day at the moment. But it must have been all that she needed because she was up and at it and didn't want to go back to sleep, and she made it through till dinner. So, you know, all was well. So what I did off camera was just put together the rub mix. I mixed all the spices, super simple. I'll link the recipe down below. I'm just drying off the beef a little bit, and I always give it a smell. Anything that I have frozen, even fresh meat, I just like to give it a smell and just triple check before cooking it. Popping on the rub mix, rubbing that all around the beef mix, and then I will be making the barbecue sauce here in a minute.
I forgot to mention as well, I've also got the Koala Eco hand soap in the bathroom. Absolutely love it. I've got to remember to order more the next round of order that I do. Smells divine. I've just got like a cheap Woolies brand hand soap in this refill one that I've got here, but I love the one in the bathroom. Anyways, distracted. What else do I need to put? So the barbecue sauce. Apple cider vinegar, ketchup, brown sugar, cayenne pepper. Alright. I'm not sold on adding 2 cups of water into the slow cooker. It's going to be very thick by the end of it. Let me read the... So if I'm doing it in the slow cooker, you just do everything else. Okay, no, I'm not putting 2 cups of water in. I'm going to put half a cup of water in. Even that feels like too much, but anyway, that is ready to go on high for 5 hours. Now, while I think of it too, I was just about to say how much I'm just using the dishwasher. Like, I'm not hand washing much. I'm just putting the dishwasher on every day. I just feel like I need that help with how busy I am at the moment. And on that, I did try the Koala Eco dishwashing powder. It was good, but it wasn't great. And I think it was because my dishwasher is quite an old dishwasher. We're in a rental and it's not a very good dishwasher at all in general. So I've been using the dishwashing powder to clean out sinks, sprinkling it on using hot water, and it's doing a brilliant job. It's a fantastic product and it's got fantastic reviews. That's why I got it. So it hasn't worked for us, but that's not to say it's not going to work for you and your dishwasher. Especially, I've got a feeling if you've got a good dishwasher, the dishwashing powder is going to work really well. It just didn't do the job in ours, but our dishwasher doesn't really do the job anyway with high bloody potency toxic dishwashing capsules. So I don't think it's the product's fault. I think it's my fault. But because this isn't sponsored, and even if it was sponsored, I wouldn't be telling you a lie. All I'm trying to say is I'm not going to tell you guys to buy something that isn't working for me. The dishwashing powder hasn't worked for me, but if you really care about non-toxic options, it's one of the only ones on the market. Give it a go because it might work wonders in your dishwasher, and let me know if it does because I would love to know.
I've just done up a tray of Brussels sprouts and a little bit of sweet potato. It's quite firm. It does have holes in the middle. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to cook it anyway with some olive oil, salt and pepper. Our beef ribs are looking like super saucy. I'm actually just going to leave the lid off there, and they're braised right down with the fat. So I will be putting these in the oven in about 15 minutes for 30 minutes. That is all for this video. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you next time.